use after. So let me see. See, when we speak, now you mentioned technology. See, technology is one aspect of life that is about means of communication. But a mother's love can touch me more than my laptop or my computer can. Like when I'm sick, I want to have somebody near me who loves me. A computer cannot do this for me. So technology serves some purpose. That is, the heart still remains human beings and human relationships. So I'm putting this talk around 7 areas in which not only youngsters, all of us need help. None of us can say we are fully mature with all our problems solved. That would be a big bluff. So the 7 areas, the first one is the relationship between parents, adults, and youth. Yeah. The second is peer relationships. Third is development, physical, emotional, sexual. Fourth is study and preparation for work. Fifth is the vocational dimension. What do I want to be? What do I want to do with my life? And the sixth is moral and religious doubts and questions. And the last one is fun. Because if a thing is boring and too serious, youngsters get bored. So I hope these talks themselves will not be of that type. Yeah. The first one between parents and youth. Okay. I used to do years ago programs, retreats and other programs for postgraduate students of JAS, especially Stella Maris College. So in one talk, or in more than one talk, I would ask these girls, do you love your parents? Of course, they'll all shout, yes. I say, you're shouting now, you love them, but I'm not so sure. Because right now you need them. They're the ones paying for your studies. They're the ones who will do everything possible for your marriage. So right now you need them. Later, when you are strong and they are weak and you don't need them, then we will see who among you really loves your parents. Now I said it's too early to say. What do you think? That's what I think. While parents' love is more sure, children's love for parents is not that sure. Now, we all expect our parents to be wonderful, perfect, but no human being is perfect. So on the parents' side, for example, there's partiality. Suppose a girl growing up feels, my elder sister was my parents' favorite. She would get new clothes while I had to wear her old clothes. That affects people mentally. Or I had a classmate who, a seminarian, final year of theology, he said, you all are thinking of priesthood and all that, but my heart is filled with bitter anger. My father was an abusive alcoholic, a terrible alcoholic. He ruined my childhood and my family. So there's so much bitter anger in my heart. And he asked for therapy, which was wise. Because even if your parents die, if you keep bitter anger, you are ruining, poisoning your own life. And he sought therapy for that. I was in that therapy. So these things do happen. No family is perfect. Or one can be emotionally deprived. Another time in a counseling session, I remember there was a young priest. Both of us were in late 30s. Now, one interesting thing that struck us about this man was that he normally looked sad. Means his normal facial expression was one of sadness. We were wondering why. Then he shared his story. It was this. His father died soon after this child was born. So he never experienced a father's love. Plus, according to some superstitions found in some groups in India, they saw this boy as bringing bad luck to the family. Something happened, because of him. Something happened, he brought us back. So he grew up thinking, seeing himself not as someone loved, but as a burden. So in the therapy session, the counselor was a good counselor. Carlos was American, who married an Indian woman. Both were very good therapists. Carlos told him, you need not go through life missing what you didn't get. If you want something, ask for it. And he said, I want it. What happened next was very touching. If you have not been in a counseling or therapy group, what I'm going to describe may strike you as far-fetched or as artificial, but it wasn't. So Carlos was sitting, we were all sitting on mattresses on the floor. Carlos leaned against the wall, pressed his legs. And this priest in his late 30s, Carlos said, come. And this priest sat next to him, and Carlos hugged him like this, as a father or mother would hug a child, hugged him tight. And Saroj sat near the feet, holding his feet. And this child burst into tears. He started sobbing, sobbing. And we were sitting around him. We were very touched. He is a man who grew up without experiencing parents' love. He didn't know what it was. He had never been held lovingly physically. And after some time, Carlos put him on the mattress, on his back, and we were sitting or kneeling around him. Many of us had tears in our eyes. When he opened his eyes, he saw us kneeling or sitting, evidently moved, and several of us with tears. This touched him again. He had never seen anyone shedding tears for him. He didn't think anyone could care for him. He burst into tears again. What struck me most is from that day, his face changed. His face changed. It became a normal face, showing joy or whatever. And on the last day, when we got our certificates, he went to the stage as he got the certificates from Carlos's wife, Saroj. He told her, "In your husband, I found a new father," and he wept again on this. So, what I'm trying to say is, no parents are perfect. In case you missed what you needed in your home, don't just go through life bitter, deprived. You can get it. You need not go through life what you didn't get. No use expecting our parents to be perfect. No one is perfect. The youngsters who are listening to me, when you marry and become parents, you are not going to be a perfect spouse or a perfect parent. You will do some good things. You will also disappoint or pain, part of life. In case you have been deprived or hurt, get help. Don't go through life bitter. So then there is a huge difference. I tell priests and sisters, etc., we say we have long years of formation. But our main formation house is our family, our home. I'm more a product, my family, than of the Salesian order. I have no doubt. Don Bosco is somebody I've heard about. I didn't live with him. I grew up with my mother, father, brothers, and sisters. They are my friends. So this is the first thing, then you say, to understand the family background, and for ourselves not to expect perfection. We've been hurt. If you have any bitter feelings, I've met youngsters who are terribly angry because they've beaten about it. So you need not pretend that your family is perfect. Be grateful. So too, youngsters understand parents late. My own sister, who is very good college professor, she told me, I understood mother only after I married and became a mother. Only then I really understood what it means. Because when I was young, I just expected mother to be perfect. So this is the first big area, relationship with teenagers. The
Sorry
second
to
area,
disturb you. Can you speak a little louder? Someone
okay, tell me. Yeah.
Thank you.
With me also. Okay. Thanks for telling me I should speak louder. Yeah. The second area is peer relationship, relations with others. This can be great fun, very enjoyable. It can also be hurting because there are nicknames and favorites and all sorts of things. We learn much from each other than from the subjects we learn in class. And some of those friendships last for life. For example, a nephew of mine, when he was doing engineering, he became friends with 5, 6 other classmates. They belonged to different religions, whatever, ethnic groups. But they became close friends, not just for fun. So even after college, all these years, 20 years or so, they have remained close friends. And after their studies, they will look for jobs. And when they would find an opening somewhere, each one didn't say, oh, I got a job. No, they would come together and say, there is an opening. Let so-and-so apply. His family is in greatest need. See, 5, 6 friends cared so much for each other that when the job opening came, they said, let so-and-so apply, let him apply. He needs it more than we do. This type of genuine friendships, and they have kept in touch and remain close friends. So you can make wonderful friends in school and college. Some of those friendships remain for life. But contacts can also be negative. For example, 2 areas in which sadly, this peer relationships have also done a lot of damage. One is drug addiction. once an ex-addict who had been treated and got well told this. The first time you take drugs, you don't even need money. Oh, don't you need money? He said, no, others will buy and give. Shopkeepers will give it as free because they want you to get addicted. Because once you're addicted, they know that you'll do anything to buy. So there are companions too who pass this along. The other big area is pornography. Pornography has become a huge pest all over the world. It's a too big a topic for me to go into right now. It has led to a lot of psychological, it affects the brain. It has led to deep depression. For example, during COVID, many students were given mobiles to follow the classes. Then I know in Bangalore, I'm speaking from Bangalore, there is a well-known and prestigious institute called the NIMHANS, National Institute of Mental Health and Neuroscience. They made a study, a very competent study, and they found that many of these students used the mobile not to follow the classes. They would give attendance, then use the mobile to play games or to access pornography. And this has led to depression. It affects the brain. He said many of them today need treatment. During COVID times, the accessing of pornography went up in India by about 100%. There are studies with. So this is one area. In fact, for the Selva, we'll be speaking more about media, so I don't want to go into. So what I'm saying is, peer relationships can be extremely beneficial, wonderful friendships, mutual help, all that. It can also be damaging because typically in teenage, nobody wants to be unpopular. One would rather dress, have the haircut or whatever, like his age group than what his parents think. That's understandable because youngsters are basically insecure. Nobody wants to be unpopular. And at times what they need is only a small help. Or help means once the mother of one of our boys in Chennai asked the principal of the school, Father, can you talk to my son? He feels insecure because he's dark. And the others call him nicknames because of that. He's very dark. We Indians are very color conscious. So the father called him and they said, yeah, your mother asked me to meet you. It seems you feel bad for being dark. He said, yes, father. Boys who are fairer, better looking, they may call me all kinds of names. We laughed at like this. Then that father told him this very simple thing. I'm short, aren't I? That father, I said, yes, father, you're short. He said, okay, no use my wanting to be tall, but my being short has not prevented me from becoming a priest or being principal of the school, right? And boy said, yes. Now that boy's mother told me this simple conversation helped him. And all of us have a physique or mental abilities or whatever, which is not the ideal. We would like to be taller or fairer or whatever, prettier, have more stylish clothes. Nobody has everything as we would like to have. So insecurity is common. Often the noise teenagers hides a lot of insecurity. So this is the other area that matters. It's important to have nice, genuine friends like engineering classmates I mentioned, wonderfully supportive of it. The third area is development. It's a time of development, sure. The body, mind, emotion, sexuality. And we need help, we are confused. One is no more a child, one has 1 foot in childhood, 1 foot in adulthood. You hear a whole lot of things, you're confused. So physical development, for example, as I said, many have complexes about their looks, figure, height, weight, whatever. Yeah, especially and today the media influenced that. Emotional means they have many ups and downs. Young women, girls, when they get their first periods, they're lucky if they have a relative or somebody who explains to them what is normal and what to expect. There's nothing wrong with it. So these areas, they need somebody to confide in and who will help them with. The sexuality is a big area of confusion. Yeah. A lot matters on that. So confusion, but this mood's development is also affected by whether your family is happy. If I come from an unhappy family, or if I am not performing well in school, like you are shining in studies, you are in the football team, you can play piano and I can't do any of these. then all the more temptation to withdraw into a world of fantasy. Because, for example, pornography on the net rather than relate because I feel I'm not up. So this third area is areas of development. People need help. Because you are no more a child, you are not yet enough. This one big area is psychosexual development. Finding one's identity. I'm going to be a man, I'm going to be a woman. What kind of man am I? So we cannot get those models from movies and all. The fourth area is study and preparation for work. This has become much more complex than this. This topic, I don't know from how many countries the listeners are. Study and preparation for work, the situation is extremely different from one country to the other. I have studied in different countries, I have taught in different countries, taught mostly in India and in the US. The two situations are very, very different. For example, in India, we have more students who drop out than those who complete high school, which is sad and pathetic status. Just as there are brilliant students who do as well as the world. So now, this whole preparation for work, there is a lot of insecurity. Earlier, for example, I'm in Bangalore, which is a big IT, not a big IT center world. But now in IT too, there is a lot of insecurity because with the arrival of artificial intelligence, and ChatGPT and things like that, companies need fewer people than before. So the big IT companies, whether it's Google or Amazon, Microsoft or whatever, they've been laying off highly qualified people because they need fewer and fewer people. This is something that will affect the future of producers. Nobody is quite sure how this will go. And talking of education, at the end of the 20th century, there was an international meeting in Canada on the goal of education. Why such a meeting? See, earlier, I suppose 50, 60 years ago, the way to learn something was you went to a building called school or college, you sat there, and somebody who knew better taught you. That's the meaning of school. Because that was the only way to learn. But today, the best, latest, most up-to-date information is available on the net, not in the textbook. And it's available free. And youngsters are smarter than the people to access it. So then what's the point? What's the purpose of schools and colleges? This was an international meeting about what should be the goal of education in the 21st century. And they redefined the goal of education this way. The goal of education was redefined not as making a learned person, but to create a lifelong learner. It means today, unlike earlier, a school, college, or whatever cannot say, learn this, we give you a degree, with that you'll have a good job for the next one. Yes, that world is largely gone. For example, Bangalore, where I lived, was not an IT city 50 years ago. It's a very different world today. So where will the jobs be 30 years from now? We are not sure. And there is also much international travel. For example, many, many youngsters from India, they big money to study in certain countries. I don't want to mention all those countries, it will take me too long. From just one town in South India, Cochin, one day, there were 8,000 youngsters on flights going abroad for studies, just from one town. So they plan to study, they work there and settle down. The whole meaning of study and preparation for work has changed a lot. So you youngsters who are listening to me, what are your plans for studies and what are the challenges you will face? The world of work, none of us knows for sure at the moment. Developing your study skills, for example, learning foreign languages is very useful and relevant. Just learning the text, the high school or college textbook won't keep you employed. So that's the fourth area. The fifth area is vocation, means what do I do with my life? What do I want to be in life? I remember the president of the PTA in one of our schools in Parent Teachers Association, a wonderful Protestant woman who was a medical doctor. She told me, Father, my son got seriously ill when he was a baby, and we thought he was going to die. But he didn't die, he survived. So I tell him, you have, God has given you to us twice. So you must do something wonderful with your life. Vocation means that. Everyone has, God placed us on this earth for a purpose, not just to earn money or to. This youngsters need help. What do I want to be? What's my main call? What's the difference I want to make with my life? The sixth area is moral and religious doubts and questions. Youngsters can be very idealistic, can also be very confused. So doubts in the area of morals and religion are very normal, that you have doubts. Why should I go to church? If you're a Catholic, why should I make something? Or why should I do this? Why should I not do? The whole area of sexuality, two people have many doubts. So these doubts, questions are normal. The youngsters ask questions. They need help with that. So this is the sixth big area. Okay. And the seventh area is fun. Suppose the thing is right through serious. Youngsters will get bored. There's lots of pent-up energy. People need fun and noise and humor. Humor means, for example, I like jokes. I don't know whether you like. We have time for jokes. And not. You may try a small joke. There was a man traveling by train from Delhi to Bangalore. Those of you are from outside Delhi, that is from right to the north. The train takes more to town in the south. So on the way, he got down in a town, came out of the train, went down, drank a glass of milk. But since he was sleepy, instead of coming back to his train, he went to the other side of the platform and got into a train which was coming from the other direction, going back. Thinking it was his train, he got in on an empty berth, he slept. When he woke up, he asked the man on the upper berth, when will this train reach Bangalore? Means the city in the south he was going to. That man said, Bangalore, I'm coming from Bangalore, going to Delhi. This guy down says, my goodness, see the incredible progress our country has made. The lower berth is going to Bangalore and the upper berth is going to Delhi. So, an example of a joke. In dealing with students, we must make sure that whether it's prayer or study or class or program, and not so serious and boring, and those youngsters get bored. So these are the 7 areas. So if you're a good loving guide, youngsters assist you well, they seek help, and they have much to give. Now, I'll play a little PowerPoint. See if I know the techniques here to play the PowerPoint. It is the same thing in cartoon. Yeah.
You find difficult to access?
What?
Can you show?
What?
PPT, something you want to show yourself.
But I can't hear you. See, I'm giving a summary of this talk, this 3-minute video with cartoons. Can you all see the?
No, we can't see the chance.
Okay, now I have a media guy sitting next to me. How do I put this on the?
Go to share screen.
Second.
Down, no green button. That green color button, share screen. Just click on this. Are you able to see down? If you just change the mouse, just click on the mouse, like click on the video. You get share screen.
Okay, let me 1 second.
After share screen, you have to click share sound also. That one option will be there. Then only the audio also will come.
Okay, share screen.
Yeah.
Then
click on the share sound. Down one option is there, no? Share sound. Click on sound. Down left side.
Okay.
Click on that and then click on the video that you have, or folder or whatever.
Okay. Now, can it be?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You made
Now,
it.
how do I play this? Now it's stop. I mean, it's visible.
Just play the video.
Ah,
from the
okay.
video.
Thank you. So,
About this point, 7 key areas or problem areas which teenagers
now is the video visible and
where we
audible?
need to help them.
Yes,
The
Father.
very first one is
thank you.
relationship with parents and parental figures. Parents matter the most for us. I'm more influenced by my mother and father than by Don Bosco or my novice master. Now, in teenage, we differ from the time we were children. So certain differences of opinion are normal, and at times it leads to tension. This is the first area. The second is relationship with peers, one's own age group. No youngster likes to be unpopular in the group. They like to dress like the others, have hairstyle like the others, have gadgets like the others. So, even if they are teased a lot about this, they will change to do what the group they think expects them. This is also a wonderful chance for us to organize peer ministry. Through other young people, you can influence the young to do good. Otherwise, the less good youngsters will influence them to do evil. Example, drug addiction. The third area is physical and psychological development. We grow physically, the body changes, we become aware of our bodies, of our figure, of our looks. Now this, for many people, they have complexes, especially if they are teased about being too fat or too lean or too tall or too dark or whatever, or for not having the ideal figure. They need reassurance. And the whole big area of sexual development and awareness. Frankly, in my experience, it's very difficult to get a good priest or religious or teacher who can give interesting, dignified, clear classes on sex education. It's hard. Now, this is a big area in which they need help. And today, one big problem area in that is the widespread access to pornography. The fourth area is study and preparation for work. Most students cannot get into prestigious schools or colleges. This is a fact. Their parents cannot afford it. Study is a big issue, and more than the abstract subjects they study, soft skills can learn, like public speaking, communications, relationships, will help them tomorrow in their life and jobs better. The fifth area is choice of a state of life. It's not that I should try to rope in some for my congregation. That's not the meaning. I should help every student to choose that state of life which God wills for them, where they'll be happiest. And we honestly should help them with this. The sixth area is moral and religious issues. Youngsters ask questions. Why should I go to church? What's the use of confession? Why can't I marry somebody of another faith? And they're good questions. Thank God they ask. We shouldn't run away from this. And we should make religion interesting. For me as a kid, I found church extremely boring. Catechism classes were the pit of boredom. This is a pity. We should make religion appealing, interesting. It's awful if we make Jesus' message boring. And the last thing is use of leisure. Youngsters get easily bored. So youth workers, we should help them how to organize their free time so they are thrilled. So the 7 areas are relationship with parents, relationship with peers, physical and psychological development, study and preparation for work, choice of a state of life, moral and religious issues, and use of leisure. All the best.
so we get back to
Stop sharing.
okay. We get back to how do I get back?
You can click on the green screen and yeah, stop sharing. Or your
Stop share. Okay.
yes.
Okay. Now here I'm having a look at the clock, so I don't want to take more time than I'm assigned. I should finish in another 5 minutes. So okay, this is an international audience. I don't know all your languages, of course. I don't know Mandarin, Portuguese, and Tagalog, Swahili, and I wanted to make summary of this in German, Spanish, French, and Italian, but I don't have the time. So I'll just say due parole in italiano. Ciò che abbiamo detto è 7 zone, 7 punti o aspetti della vita in cui i giovani hanno bisogno di aiuto. Uno, rapporti tra genitori e altri adulti e i giovani. Secondo, i rapporti tra i giovani stessi. Terzo, studio e preparazione per il mondo. Quattro, tutto il sviluppo personale, corporeo, emozionale, sessuale. Quinto è il punto di vocazione. Ciò che devo diventare o fare della vita. Sei, dubbi morali e religiosi. E l'ultimo punto, divertimento, occasione di fare rumore e ridere, stare felici, questo importa. Perché se no i giovani si annoiano. Now, I will leave because I'm short of time. Summarize this also in Spanish. I'll skip that. Then, because I want to show you 2 other 3-minute videos. One, some suggestions for youth workers, because many of these things, whether it is done, depends more on the youth worker than on the youth. Just as in a family, much more things depend on parents than on children. And then some heroic youth from whom we can learn. So, let me see if I get the instructions correct. Yes.
The tips or principles, whatever you prefer. Here are 7 of them. First, believe in the young. Means, what are your normal, spontaneous comments about young people? Do you believe in their potential?
Is it loud
or do
enough?
you see them
I don't
as a
hear
wasteful,
it as
useless
loud.
lot? Or
It was
basic
okay,
convictions
yeah.
about a group matters. So the first thing is, believe in the young. They are full of potential. How did people like Don Bosco transform what were street kids into saints and heroes? That's the first thing, believe in the young. 2, spend time with the young. With the young. Don Bosco used to tell Salesians, if a teacher is found only in the classroom, and if a priest is found only in the church, people say they are just doing their duty. But if that same teacher comes out, spends time with the young during recreation, they feel, oh, he cares for us, he's our friend. So spend time with the young. Third one, be for the young and speak up. I remember a case in which we were visiting a center for street children, and one of the religious went to the police station because a kid was found with some mild drugs on him. So one of the visiting people made such negative comments, oh, they have drugs, let them go, let the police beat them up. Then that young brother said something so wise. He said, if the young were perfect, they wouldn't need us. So true. Nobody is perfect. We are here for them because they are not perfect. Just as we were never perfect. So that's that, the be for them. They are imperfect, but they need support. Fourth one, be inspired by the young. The Pope, in his official letter, Christus Vinci, puts a number of young heroes we can all learn from. It's not that they have to learn from the old. We have many things to learn from the young and be inspired. That's the fourth principle. The fifth one is, for this, we need to listen. Not only talk to the young. Saint Benedict, great and wise religious leader, would tell the monks, listen to the young. God often speaks to us through them. Do we do this in our parishes, in our schools, in our religious houses? Do we listen to the young? The sixth one is, as adults we make mistakes. We expect the young to be open to corrections. For this, be open to correction. Admit your mistakes and apologize. We had a wonderful principle when we were doing college, Father Joseph Murphy. If you ask any student or staff member of the time, whom do you remember with the highest esteem, they'll say Father Murphy. He was strict, he was hot-tempered, but if Father Murphy lost his temper, the same day he would go to that brother or that boy and say, I'm sorry I lost my temper. This is great leadership. Apologize. And the seventh and last principle, all this friendliness, being nice, be with them, it's all good. But you as a youth worker, or parent, or teacher, or priest or sister, are not just a friend. You need to be someone they can look up to, confide in, and be guided by. Friends, they have many in their own age group. In us, they need more than a friend. I repeat, they need wise guides, people they can look up to, confide in, and learn from. May the Church have many such grown-up men and women the youth can look up to, confide in, and learn from. Youth ministry, here's the third video. In a parish I was in Chennai, we knew a young woman from Sri Lanka who got her job and who used to go every day taking her lunch with her in a tiffin carrier. Evening she would bring the empty tiffin carrier back, and no one thought anything special about it. Then she died in an accident. Only after that the family discovered that she never had her lunch. She was giving her lunch every day to a poor man on the roadside whom she had met one of the first days. Every day she gave her lunch to this poor man, and she was hungry the whole day. There are such heroes among us. Robert Coles, a highly reputed Harvard professor of psychiatry, made large studies on children. One volume is Spiritual Life of Children. He interviewed an African-American woman, a young girl called Ruby, who was taken to a school which was white and which now was forced to admit blacks. So therefore many white parents would stand there insulting her, threatening her. And this girl, accompanied by 2 military police, walked calmly and smiling into the school. They thought, doesn't she understand the danger? So Professor Coles asked her, what were you doing as you walked in? She said, I was doing what my granny told me, and that is, I was praying for death. Just imagine. She was praying for those parents who were insulting her and threatening to kill her. Now, there are such things among us. I remember once one of our older students from one of our schools who had joined Loyola College asked me, Brother Joe, can I meet you roughly once a month? I thought he had some serious problems to talk over. I asked him, fine, what do you want to meet me about? He said, Father, I like to get closer to Jesus, that's why. I was really surprised. A normal kid going college, his main pursuit was this, to get closer to God. Now such youngsters are the ones who are doing and who can train to do wonderful peer ministry. Some of them give excellent retreat talks, some organized retreats. You must see their fervor, their God-centeredness. I know schools, colleges where they said the best retreat our students had was the one by the youth team. No wonder Pope Francis quoted youngsters like Carlos Acutis, this brilliant computer-savvy youngster from Italy, whose main passion was Christ. This combination, youngsters, tech-savvy, very much at home with gadgets, but the heart's passion is to seek God. And this is what came through also in our Assembly of Major Superiors 2015. They were great speakers, but the session that touched the hearts of the Major Superiors was the meeting with youth. One of the Major Superiors asked them on the stage, okay, you're saying all this. What is it you expect from us? A young man from the stage, without any hesitation, he said, help us to become saints. The audience really listened with rapt attention. So this is what they expect, not just jokes or discussing cricket, but that we help them on their journey with God. I like to quote Cardinal Mercier on this. He used to say, young people are a strange lot. You ask them for little, they give you nothing. You ask them for much, they give you everything. Now that depends on whether we give ourselves fully. If our heart's passion is to be good and to do good, then meeting us, they will also discover their heart's passion to give themselves in love, transform the world and the church. They are capable of this, and they look up to us for example, support and encouragement.
So may they find this loving, caring and inspiring, and maybe believe in their potential and bring out the best. It's a mutual learning, mutual support. All the best. May we all remain young at heart, full of enthusiasm, and make the world around us a better, more loving place. We can all do that, whatever our age. All the best. I finished.